What happens when you never attend family gatherings? How absence slowly changes connection, memory, and the sense of belonging. The first time it feels optional. At first, missing a family gathering feels like a small decision. There is always a reason that seems reasonable. You are busy, tired, or simply not in the mood. Nothing significant happens as a result. The event passes and life continues as usual. It feels like you chose your time well. There is no immediate consequence, no visible change. That is what makes the decision feel easy to repeat. When one absence becomes a pattern, over time, one missed gathering turns into several. Invitations still come, but they begin to feel less urgent. The decision to skip becomes familiar. What was once an exception slowly becomes a pattern. You start to assume that your absence does not matter much. After all, the gathering still happens and everything seems to continue without you. The subtle shift in communication. As absence becomes consistent, communication begins to change. Conversations that once included you start happening without your presence. References to shared moments become less familiar. You hear about events after they have already happened. The connection does not disappear, but it becomes less immediate. It shifts from participation to observation. How memory is built through presence. Family connections are often shaped by repeated shared experiences. Small conversations, shared meals, and familiar routines create a sense of continuity. When you are not present, those moments are not part of your memory. Over time, this creates a difference in what you and others remember. The shared history becomes less shared. The feeling of being slightly outside. At some point, returning to a gathering feels different. The environment is the same, but your position within it has shifted. Conversations may move around you instead of including you naturally. There is a sense of being slightly outside the flow. This is not always intentional from others. It is a result of not being part of the recent shared experiences. Why distance feels gradual, not sudden. The change does not happen all at once. It builds slowly, almost unnoticed. Each missed event adds a small amount of distance. Because the change is gradual, it is easy to overlook. There is no single moment where the connection breaks. Instead, it becomes less active over time. What remains even without presence? Even with distance, some connections remain. Family ties do not disappear completely because of absence. There is still recognition, familiarity, and history. However, the depth of connection depends on ongoing interaction. Without regular presence, the relationship becomes more static. It stays as it was, without continuing to develop. The role of effort in maintaining connection. Maintaining connection requires effort, even when relationships feel permanent. Presence is one of the simplest ways to sustain that connection. It does not always require long conversations or significant actions. Simply being there contributes to continuity. Without that effort, connection depends only on past experiences rather than ongoing ones, choosing distance or participation. Deciding whether to attend gatherings becomes more than a scheduling choice. It becomes a decision about how connected you want to be. Distance can feel comfortable in the short term, especially when time feels limited. Participation requires effort, but it also maintains continuity. The choice is not always clear, but it shapes the relationship over time. Final thoughts. Not attending family gatherings does not create immediate change, but it gradually alters connection and shared experience. Absence shifts communication, memory, and the sense of belonging in subtle ways. Relationships remain, but they become less active without regular interaction. Understanding this makes it easier to see that presence is not just about attending an event. It is about maintaining the connection that grows through repeated shared moments. Thanks for watching.